What's up guys, my name is Chronic here on this Destiny 2 video, and today we're going to be talking about the top 5 exotics for the Warlocks in PvE. Now I say PvE because I don't play a lot of PvP, so I can't really speak to the merits of a lot of exotics in this game, so it's going to be very PvE focused with some mentions and references to PvP uses. Now I'm not saying this is a definitive list, I'm saying this is mostly my own opinion. I did some research and in general this seems like the best list out there. Most of the time people agree with this same list. But in general, I think this is more similar to my playstyle being winning. So if you don't have the same playstyle, you can always use your Winter's Guile and your Skull of Dire Ahamkara, or whatever else people use these days. Don't worry guys, I'm not gonna put up a bunch of pictures of puppies and different wizard or mage outfits for this video for thematic effect. I mean, that would just be a complete waste of our time, right? And the last little thing before I get into the top 5 is I wanted to mention again, I have a Twitter and a Discord that I'm very active on. They're linked in the description down below, and if you want to get in contact with me or just want to say hi, but I definitely am very active if you wanted to hang out and play some games. So make sure you check that out and come join the party. So without further ado, let's talk about number 5. What is number 5? There it is. Coming in at number 5 in this top 5 is going to be the Ophidian Aspect Exotic Gauntlets. What this thing does is make weapons ready and reload very quickly, and melee range is extended, which is about like anywhere from like 1.5 to 2 times the range of extension. The speed increase for reload in the kinetic slot is 15%, for the energies is like 26%, for powers about 9%, and for the handling, the weapon swap speed as well as the how fast you can aim after sprinting is around anywhere from like 25 to 27%. So in general, this exotic makes it so you can do things faster if you have a problem with certain things. Now I would recommend, instead of just equipping this because it sounds great, equip it with those specific weapons that you have trouble with. Things like Acreus being very slow, having terrible handling, or terrible reload. You want to get better DPS with the Acreus. Basically, you want to use it with weapons that have terrible handling or terrible reload speed to bring them up to the correct level. For example, using Better Devils without the reload perk on it, you can actually bring it up to about the same reload if you want to use Extended Mags, or in general, just bring it up even farther than it is to make it even better than it is. Personally, I use Ophidian Aspects for my Vigilance Wing in PvP because I have somewhat of trouble with the handling as it doesn't ready as quick as I would want it to, and it makes it so it's a lot more effective at those close ranges. Coming up at number 4 is going to be the Transverse Steps Exotic Legs. While sprinting, movement speed is increased and energy weapons are automatically reloaded. Now I know what you're thinking, exactly how much are they increased by? In general, it's about like 6%. For the Transverse Steps, it gives you about a 5 to 6% increase. If you're also using lightweight, it can go up to 11% increase of the standard base, which is actually really nice. Not only just for running through different missions, getting through certain areas quick, but it's also very valuable for speed runs. Let's say you're using something like the Sunshot, that's just an energy weapon, has a terrible reload. If you're trying to speed run through certain areas, you want to have Transverse Steps to run faster through the area. You get a bunch of shots off to kill some enemies that are problematic, and then you start running and it automatically reloads that energy weapon while it's in your hands. Only problem being is I usually use kinetics over energy weapons, and it seems like a lot of exotics these days are like, use energy weapons, not kinetics, and you can get a boost. The reality is that they know we like the kinetics better, so we use them more. And the last little note about the Transversives is you'd be surprised how useful it is to stay alive. Not just running quicker, but being able to dodge enemy shots. If you're just a little bit quicker, you're a little bit more comfortable in getting in a certain direction, boosting in a direction. With my Warlock, it's very nice getting a boost glide, and I can dodge more enemy shots. And lastly, if you ever find that you are trying to run away from enemies and you're just about around the corner and you're just right at the corner and you die, if you have Transverse Steps, you might have survived. Might have been able to get around that corner 11% faster. Coming in at number 3 in this top 5 is actually one of my personal favorites. It's going to be the Veritys Brow Exotic Helmet. Now what this thing does is it gives you stacks of 4th magic, which are energy weapon kills, again with the energy weapons, boost grenade recharge rate for you and nearby ally. Now this boost at 3 times stack, which is the maximum, reduced my grenade by about 75% from 57 seconds to 15 seconds, which is really nice. And you guys know that I'm definitely a slave when it comes to grenades, and I always want tons and tons of grenades, especially considering the Warlock supers are somewhat underwhelming when compared to things like the Hunter. I find that the Warlock game is all revolves around doing things with the Rift, doing things with the grenades, and in general using a lot of neutral game. One of my favorite strategies with Veritys Brow is to use it with Devour because of that one perk. While you have Devour active, you get grenade recharge. With Veritys Brow, it basically, while you're getting energy kills, you kind of reduce the maximum you need to get to the very top, as well as the fact that it's recharging quicker. And in general, if you get that devour just by consuming your grenade and then just going absolutely ham on the enemies, you'll continually get health back and your grenade back, and you start chucking nades and getting health back and getting energy kills. It's just, in general, you get tons and tons of energy, tons of grenades so fast. Anyways, coming up at number 2 in this top 5 exotics for the Warlocks is gonna be the Sun Bracers. I made a video about this recently. You can check it out. It's all about unlimited grenades, and that is basically what this thing does. Firstly, increase the duration of solar grenades. That's the one that's an AoE and just kind of heats up the area for a little while. And solar melee kills grant unlimited solar grenade energy for a brief time. This is the part that makes it so very amazing. If you combine this with the Attunement of Sky subclass tree in Dawnblade, mid-air kills will recharge your melee. So imagine this, you get a melee charge kill, you get like 6.5 grenades from just chucking nades like crazy, getting unlimited grenades while flying through the air, getting your melee back from those kills while in midair, getting your melee back, and then starting the circuit over and over and over. You get tons of grenades, you get ridiculous DPS on tons of adds. Honestly, the only downside is you can't stack the multiple grenade hits with these solar grenades. I realized that when I made my unlimited grenades video, is that if you throw like 5 grenades on one enemy, he's still gonna only get hit by one of the ticks per second from one of those grenades. For some reason, I guess putting down like a 500 degrees Celsius furnace next to somebody is the same as putting 500 degrees Celsius furnaces next to them. I guess it's still 500 degrees Celsius around them or something. Overall, very fun to use, very nice to use in the easy to medium areas. It's a little bit of a problem in the later areas when enemies don't die that easily to the solar grenades, but it's still very fun and very effective. Anyways, coming at number 1 and the top exotic in the game for Warlocks is gonna be the Lunafaction Boots. Now this exotic was buffed right before the Warmind came out, and it got an incredible buff right after that to make it even better. These things are actually really crazy, and for a bigger part than many people understand. So what this does is makes it so your rifts can automatically reload allies' weapons while standing inside of it, and secondly, making empowering rifts make weapons effective over longer ranges, which I found to be double the range. So if you're using empowering rifts with your Lunafaction, you can use it for an incredible amount of DPS on bosses, using it instead of rally barricades to automatically reload your teammates' weapons. Making empowering makes it so everything does 30% more damage in PvE. And lastly, making it so you have double the range on those weapons that need more range. Now this doesn't need to just be used on bosses. This has incredible amounts of neutral game uses as well. If you consider weapons like the Midnight Coup or the Sunshot having very low range, even though Sunshot has explosive rounds, you throw down an empowering Lunafaction Rift, you have double the range with these items with 30% more damage. You can do an incredible amount of damage with these hand cannons that's supposed to have no range at all at double the range that you had previously, which is an incredible amount of range. It's more like a assault rifle at range at that point on top of the 30% bonus you get. And it's also very good for those weapons that have terrible reload, like the Sunshot I was mentioning before. Terrible reload time, as well as the fact that it has small clip size, makes it so it's very effective inside the Lunafaction Rift. Anyways, I'm not gonna keep blabbering on about Lunafaction, how amazing it is. That's pretty much the list. Anyways, that list again from top to bottom: at number 1, Lunafaction, number 2, Sun Bracers, number 3, Veritys Brow, number 4, Transverse, and number 5, Ophidian Aspects. These are the best in the game. Honorable mentions go out to things like Vespers of Radius, which make it so when there's enemies around you, your rift recharges a lot faster. If you want to have lots of rifts in the raid, and you want to have lots of Arc Soul, lots of healing rifts, so you want to have lots of empowering rifts, and you don't really care about that Lunafaction bonus, Vespers of Radius is really nice. Going from plate to plate on Callus, tons of enemies around you, you'll have a rift for every single plate. Another honorable mention goes out to Crown of Tempest, making it so your arc ability kills increase the recharge rate of your arc abilities. Combining this with Stormcaller, which is an arc ability kills, getting your pulse grenades faster, your pulse grenades giving your pulse grenades faster, and on top of that, it's gonna get a buff quite soon on the next update. And the last honorable mention, I Have Another World, very easy to get. You can get it in the campaign at like level 10 or something on Titan. It's very easy to get. Makes it so all your abilities recharge faster and you highlight priority targets, basically enemies with low health. Overall, very universally used and beloved, but overall just not that special to make it groundbreaking. And that's my honorable mention list. There are probably other ones that are pretty good. Let me know in the comments if there are some that I missed and why. Not just say, hey, I think that this is so much better. Let me know why. Let me know the synergy. I want to know about these synergies. I've been getting into these synergies lately and I've been loving them. Let me know how this combines with certain other supers, how it combines with certain subclasses, and why it's better than the other ones. Let me know. Anyways, that's the video for you guys today. Hope you guys did enjoy. My name is Veritys Brow, and I'll see you guys on the next one.